Hey, welcome. If you're running an art institute, a gallery, or any kind of cultural organization, you know the deal. Keeping the lights on while keeping the mission alive, well, it's the number one challenge, right? Today, we're going to dive into some really powerful, practical strategies to build financial stability. So let's jump right in and explore how to secure your institution's future. So let me just ask you straight up. Is your institution's future really, truly future-proof? Because let's be real, with public funding getting tighter, donor priorities shifting all the time, and what feels like a million other groups competing for the same grants, this is not just some academic question. It's the challenge that keeps us all up at night. And that leads us to a hard truth we all have to face. Just relying on ticket sales, hoping for that government grant to come through, or throwing the same fundraising gala year after year, it's just not going to cut it anymore. The whole landscape has changed, and that means our playbook for funding has to change too. But listen, this isn't just about dodging a financial bullet. It's about building a solid foundation. You know, we often talk about money and mission like they're two separate things, but they're not. Having a stable financial footing is the very thing that lets you do the art, that lets you fulfill your purpose. Without it, everything we care about is on shaky ground. Just think for a second about what that stability actually gives you. It means you can actually focus on your mission, not just scramble for the next buck, right? It gives you the breathing room to adapt to new things, like, say, a big digital shift, without totally freaking out. It lets you do more for your community, more scholarships, more free days. And maybe most importantly, it builds real long-term trust with everyone, your staff, your artists, and all the people who support you. So, how do we get there? Well, it all starts with creativity, the very thing we're all about. Let's get into our first pillar, creative revenue. And this is about more than just finding new ways to make money. It's about taking the unique, creative things you already have and turning them into smart commercial opportunities. And here are 5 big ideas that are working for institutions right now. We're talking about smarter memberships, building real corporate partnerships, actually making money from your online content, using your physical space in new ways, and running really focused crowdfunding campaigns. Every single one of these is a pathway to a stronger bottom line. Okay, check this out. 40%. The story behind this number is fantastic. The San Francisco Art Collective saw a 40% jump in membership renewals. And you know how they did it? By adding one special VIP night for their top-tier members. That's it. It's a perfect example of adding exclusive value that makes people want to give more. Now, when you're thinking about partnerships, you have got to know this term, CSR, or Corporate Social Responsibility. And look, this isn't just companies being nice. More and more businesses have real goals and real budgets to show they're a positive force in the community. The Chicago Arts Institute, for example, teamed up with a tech firm for digital literacy workshops. It was a total win-win. It hit the company's CSR goals and fulfilled the Institute's mission. And with crowdfunding, here's the secret sauce. Make your ask tangible. Don't just ask for cash. Tell people exactly what their money will do. A simple line like this on a website, well, it shows a donor their immediate impact. It turns a transaction into a personal investment in protecting art. All right, let's talk grants. They are still absolutely crucial, of course. But in this hyper-competitive world, we've got to stop thinking about grant writing as just, homework. It's time for our second pillar, turning your grant applications into powerful stories that funders can't ignore. Here's a simple 5-step game plan. You've got to do your homework on the funder, blend those emotional stories with cold, hard data, actually build relationships with grant officers, join forces with other groups to go after the big fish, and hey, don't put all your eggs in one basket. See? It's about playing chess, not just buying a lottery ticket. And if you're thinking, can we really afford an expert? Take a look at this. The New England Art Institute brought on a part-time specialist, and bam, their success rate shot up by 25%. It just goes to show you, sometimes calling in a specialist pays for itself, and then some. And that brings us to our third and final pillar. And honestly, this might be the biggest mindset shift of all. The era of treating donors like ATMs is over. To really, truly thrive, we have to stop seeing them as transactions and start building real, authentic partnerships with the people who believe in what we do. And just look at what happens when you do that. The Denver Art Hub saw their major gifts jump by 30% after launching their Collectors Circle. It was a special dinner series that gave their top supporters exclusive access. You're not just building a mailing list, you're building a community, a club. So here is the bottom line. More than anything else, today's donors want to see and feel the impact of their gift. They want to know where their money is actually going. Being transparent isn't just good manners, it's the foundation of any modern donor relationship. And this is exactly how you do it. This one sentence connects a dollar amount to a real, tangible, amazing outcome. It's not about overhead. It's about the 10 kids who got to see art because of one person's generosity. Now that is how you show impact. It makes the donor the hero of the story. Okay, so we've walked through our 3 pillars: creative revenue, smarter grants, and treating donors like true partners. Now let's pull it all together and tackle some of those tough questions that always pop up when we talk about blending mission and money. I hear this all the time, this fear that if you start focusing on making money, you're somehow selling out your artistic mission. But the reality is, it's not a choice between the two. It has to be both. The real key is alignment, making sure your money-making activities, whether it's a gift shop or renting out your space, actually support and reflect your core values. All right, let's do a little rapid-fire round. Worried about donor fatigue? The answer isn't to ask less, it's to deepen the relationship. Think you're too small for corporate sponsors? Forget the huge corporations and go hyper-local. Pitch the businesses right in your own neighborhood. And wondering if going digital is really worth all the effort? Oh yeah, 100%. It gives you a global audience and opens up totally new revenue streams. So let's bring it all home. Look, financial sustainability isn't about finding one magic solution. It's about building a solid strategy that can stand on 3 strong legs: creating your own revenue, getting smarter about how you win grants, and building deep, real relationships with your donors. And that brings us right here to the most important question of all. This isn't just about learning new things. It's about doing them. So looking at everything we've talked about, what's one new idea, just one small thing that you can try out this month to start building a stronger future for your institution?